YouTube, and welcome to this episode of the Gunman Raw. So the main purpose of this video here is to actually help a subscriber who asked a question. I have recommended these guns here, the FLG5s, to lots of people over the years, and I do think they're a great value for money gun. They come in at around $200 Australian. I've heard of Americans getting them shipped out to their door for 160 US. So, and yeah, if they go through Spray Guns Direct, they'll get it out the next day. So all that aside, a guy did buy one of these guns on my recommendation and spraying a silver bonnet, and he said, man, I'm getting some mottling, so I would like you to you know, help me out. So I left a little bit of a comment there. Hopefully that could help him, but I would imagine that physically seeing someone spray it is probably going to be even more helpful. So hopefully we can clear some things up for him and some other people when using the FLG5. So as I say, like the build quality, the price is an obvious, you know, so it is a proper DeVilbiss, you know, it's not just a Chinese made knockoff, it is a proper DeVilbiss. Originally they were actually made in Brazil, but I believe that DeVilbiss UK actually bought the machine off them. So these are now actually made in the UK, which is where the same plant that the GTI Pros and Pro Lights are made, and obviously now the DB1s. So excuse the nostrily sounding voice, because I'm actually just recovering from a cold. Today is the Wednesday, and I actually had Monday and Tuesday off because I came down with a case of man flu. But I would probably usually avoid doing videos in this state because my voice annoys the hell out of myself, let alone you poor guys that have to listen to it. But it was too good of an opportunity to pass up. It's one of those things that I do feel a little bit bad that I haven't actually already done a silver base coat video with this gun, because I have so heavily recommended it. I probably should have yeah, done some more videos using it for base coat. Although I think years ago I did actually use it for base coat back when I had my own workshop. Yeah, so let's get my respirator on. So what I'm going to be putting down first is actually a ground coat. So I'm going to be using this for the top coat colour, and you know, I probably didn't really need it, but I'd rather just put a coat of this, one or two coats of this down first, just to get that basic coverage, just so I don't run out of colour. So yeah, I think the bonnet on this car, like the paint was flaking, and this was actually not even going to be my job, but I just had a look out there in the workshop, and I said to the guy that was going to paint this, I said, hey, if we both go in and paint a single panel each, no one's going to be able to do the prime up tonight, because Alan is away, he's at trade school at the moment, so we are a man down. And I just said, hey, I'll spray that silver bonnet for you if you want to do the prime up. So vice versa, I think either way I don't mind doing the prime up, but yeah, he just said, yeah, spray that bonnet for me. So just in case, like, we are obviously just spraying the bonnet and that little part over there, the garnish. So just in case we need a little bit extra paint to do the blends on the fenders, if it looks really bad, which it shouldn't. Like, I had a look at the colour, it didn't look too bad. But yeah, that's what I say, just don't want to run out of the top coat colour. As I say, so spray boost temperature, I've set the spray boost to 27 degrees. A lot of the time, because it's a bit colder at the moment here in Australia, a lot of the time that'll just be set to 30 degrees, but because we're spraying that silver that we don't want to get mottled with, I don't want this base coat drying too quickly. Once it's down, you can blow air on it to dry it down, but you basically don't want it drying as you're spraying when you're doing silvers with solvent. So I'm pretty sure the other guy, the guy that was asking, was using solvent too, not water or anything like that. As I say, this isn't even the right colour, so sort of just disregard this. This isn't the how to spray silver with the FLG5 part yet. That's coming soon. Yeah, I just grabbed 2 silvers from the bench, put them both together, just old silvers that we didn't, you know, like little 100 mils here and 100 mils there, put them 2 together, and then that's what I'm spraying down here. So I didn't go and mix up extra paint or anything. And another piece of advice is you don't want it to be too dry, you don't want it to be too wet either with solvent. You just got to find that happy medium, keep the gun nice and straight to the panel, and just get it on nice and even. Hold the gun back a bit. You see, I would be holding that probably twice as close if I was spraying clear coat down. Pressure not too high. As I say, this is just the ground coat anyway, so but basically the same principles apply. Pretty much whatever gun you're using. Obviously it might tweak it a little bit depending on the gun you're using, but now that's down, I'm going to kill a few minutes by prep soldering this tailgate. This is the other off a separate job. It's like a Ford Ranger tailgate here. Yeah, so I had some issues with my editing software the other day, and I was like trying to watch some reviews on YouTube about the latest editing software from Sony, or they've actually changed names. But I tell you what, man, some of these people on YouTube, they're just absolute sellouts, man. It's just about making that money, making that advertising dollar, you know. They're not even focusing on giving the viewer something that's actually going to help them, giving them a reason to hit subscribe, giving them a reason to come back and watch, you know. It's just, yeah, it just seems like lots of people have just found out you can make money on YouTube, and they're just taking it too far, and it's no longer about teaching people, it's more about you than everyone else, you know. That's what I was saying to my workmate out there, Frank. I said, man, you know, just, that's why I'm successful. That's what I put it down to, is that I've made videos that have helped people out, you know, and the rest will follow. You know, the sponsorships, they followed. Making a decent bit of money on the side, that came after, but you have to focus on giving the viewer a reason to come, man, you know. Like, if I'm just going to sit there for the first 2 minutes of your video is like a promotion or an advertisement, and then the entire video is barely even helpful, you know, it's just a clickbaity thumbnail title to get someone to quickly watch the video, but you don't actually give them any helpful or relevant information, you know. And I hope I never get like that. Be sure to let me know if I do. I mean, yeah, I make a bit of a mention of spray guns direct here and there, but, well, that's because I believe in them, you know. I would buy guns off them. That's another thing. I've got to do a review for this one soon, and you know what? I'm going to be ruthless with it. I love this gun, but I'm just going to be brutally honest about this gun. And you know the truth of it? Would I spend 900 or whatever dollars it is on this spray gun? No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. When you've got DPI Pros, Pro Light, FLG5, DPI, other good quality guns out there for half or a third of the price, why would I buy a gun like this? Sure, it looks great. Sure, it does spray nice, but it's not value for money. I always look for value for money when I buy things. Alright, let's get a coat of this down here. We'll be able to go back to that bonnet in a minute. That's actually the reason we're here, isn't it? We've been a bit sidetracked. But yeah, hopefully you guys do learn out of my videos, and yeah, I'll put that forefront, at the very front of my mind when I'm creating a video. give the viewer value, give them a reason to watch. And that's what I said to Frank, my mate out there. It's like, it's the most basic thing, you know? Some people just still struggle to even get that concept that if you want to be a good YouTuber, give the viewer a reason to watch, give them a reason to subscribe, give them a reason to come back. You know, at the start, at the very start of me making YouTube, I was buying all my own spray guns to do reviews on that I didn't need, and then I would give them away to you guys when I was done with them. Rightio, so that looks about ready to put our next coat on. I'll put another coat of this on first. Just quickly. But yeah, I mean, on this gun here, totally love it to bits, man. It's nice and efficient, sprays the base coat on really well. That is brilliant for clear too. But yeah, I just wouldn't spend this much money on a gun. And you're about to see why. Because you can do the same thing with a $200 gun. And that's not hating on people that do like their waters. You know, I don't hate on you if you love your starters. I quite like a starter too. But I just wouldn't spend that kind of money on a gun. I'm trying to get ahead in life, pay for my home. You know, I'd like to get a workshop of my own, and that's not going to pay for itself, I'll tell you now. That's not spraying properly. What's going on with that? Now, I'm going to have to go and clean this gun out. I'll be back in a sec. Rightio, YouTube, back to it. So I just walked out, put that air cap into some thinners for 2 or 3 minutes while I went to the toilet, and yeah, it's spraying fine again. So yeah, look, one criticism of this gun I could cop is that the fan isn't the biggest. So ideally, with a Basecoat gun, you're going to have a bigger fan. So look, it's probably not going to be the best Basecoat gun. It will show its flaws up on the silvers. So, you know, out of all the guns I've got, it definitely wouldn't be the first gun I went to spray a silver bonnet, which is probably why I haven't done it before. But it'd be a little bit hypocritical of me to recommend it so much and then not use it, or not be able to use it on a silver. So let's just play around with these presses, see the sweet spot. So when you're adjusting all spray guns, if you have a cheater valve like this on it, you must open that up fully. So that's the air adjustment on the gun itself. Open that right up, or this air will read wrong. That's your fan adjustment. We've got that full, obviously. Fluid, that's full. So let's just find that sweet spot. That even nearly seems to touch low. Let's see how it goes. So just watching it go on, hopefully you guys can see with that camera. See, that still seems a little bit low, that pressure there actually. Let's get it up to 2 bar and see how that goes. Getting it on relatively wet, but also nice and even. Yeah, it's definitely not as easy as DV1. Definitely not as easy as Pro Light or even that GPI. It's a bit harder to get it on even. I can sort of tell just by watching the finish there, or the metallic lie down there. So yeah, putting it on pretty wet for this coat, so obviously this isn't my last coat anyway. There's also there's a few tricks that you can use. I've got no doubt at all that I'll be able to get this metallic laying down nicely. We might have to use a few of those tricks. Back when I was a grasshopper, sometimes that even cross batch it this way, so put your first coat down that way and then come back this way. If it's still looking a bit funny, you can even go corner to corner, do something like that. So one other thing I did do when I walked out, I turned the spray booth down even a little bit more. So that's sitting at 25 degrees Celsius. Ambient temperature outside is probably only 15 to 20, so it's pretty chilly by my standards anyway. So when I got this comment from a guy, I even asked that other dude out there that you can see out there prepping up these couple of doors. I said, hey, I've got a follower, he's having trouble with some mottle, you know, what would you say to him? And he said, well I'd probably tell him, don't let it dry too much between coats. I'm like, okay, I probably wouldn't have said that, but you could have a point, you know, like he's obviously had a different experience in his spray painting career, and you know, yeah, just came a different way around to get the similar results. So yeah, you know, it's one of those things you just ask different people, see what they say, and try it yourself and find what's going to work for you. But as you can see with this gun here, it's got a massive fan on it, so it's a bit easier to lay the metallics down nice and easy without the mottle. But yeah, I mean, a slightly small fan on the FLGs, it's just not enough for me to say it's a bad gun, you know what I mean? Another thing you could even look at doing if you're in the warmer months, use some slow thinner, you know, if it's anything sort of above 30 degrees, even above 27 degrees, use a bit of slow thinner in the base coat. As I say, like, once your colour's down, you can start to dry it down with a bit of air, but you don't want it drying as you're applying. So I've actually found a couple of bits of dust. I reckon they landed in when I opened that booth up, because I couldn't see them when there's another one over here. So I'm going to leave that for a few minutes. I'm going to tack rag them out. They'll come out with a tack rag, no worries at all. But I'm just going to let that dry properly. Then we'll put what should be our last two coats on. Even that didn't dry down too bad. It looked a touch on the mottley side as I was applying it, but I don't think it's dried down too bad. So I'm going to flick that cam off for a few minutes, because otherwise you'd just be sitting here watching paint dry, listening to me talk with a cold. So yeah, I'll flick it off and see you back here in a minute. Rightio, so I've given that probably a good 5 minutes, which should be enough. Now, this one here looks like a pretty big chunk. Hopefully it'll come out with a tack rag. I think this one over here will definitely, but let's see how we go. I do have a bit of 1500 just in case it needs a bit of a scuff. That's going to need a little bit of a scuff actually. You do have to be careful, these edges can gouge into your, especially on your base coat. If it was primer that was baked out or left overnight, it'd probably be a bit safer, but sometimes you can even just do a bit of this just to cut those sharp edges off. It kind of gets rid of the sharpness of the sandpaper, but probably better than, yeah, that's it, that's nice. And I haven't gouged into it. Just running it over the rest of the bonnet while I'm at it, just to make sure there's nothing that stands out. But it's looking pretty good, the rest of it. Oh, there's something, I felt something over here. Yeah, there's one here. I think that was it. Yeah, just a few bits of fluff. Most of that did come out, but I've got the 1500 here, so I may as well use that. Another one here.
That's probably me being a little bit lazy and not hosing the booth out. I probably should have. Oh well, you get that on the big jobs, mate. Rightio, let's continue on with this job. And because that's 1500, that should cover up really quickly. Like, you shouldn't have to put another 2 or 3 coats. You shouldn't have to put another full 3 coats on. 2 should do it. We'll see how we go. Back on with the respirator. I think I might even clear this job up with this FLG5 too.
Yeah, why not clear it up with the FLG5, just to show you guys why I do like this gun and why I do recommend it, because it's definitely capable of good clear coat finishes. So we'll leave it at 2 bar, because that seems to be going okay. As I say, just hold that gun back a bit. We may even need to do that trick where you put a bit of 599 with the silver, which basically just dilutes it. I hope you don't have to, because I don't have to with most of my guns, only when I'm, only on the really coarse silvers, which this actually isn't. This isn't a very coarse silver, so it's not usually the kind of silver that will give you grease. Like the fine silvers, you really don't have to work that hard to get them to lay down nicely. Usually a nice size fan and a bit of even spray action is enough on the finer silvers. Let's see how that dries down, and fingers crossed that one more drop coat is going to do it. And because that's not that wet, it should dry relatively fast too. I think I might work from this end to that end on that next coat. Something that I guess you can't always do. When the bonnet's on the car, you can't always do that. I mean, if you're tall like me and it's not too big of a car, sure, you'll be able to reach up there. But if you're real short and it's a big bonnet, forget about it if it's on the car. Yeah, look, it's not quite perfect yet. We will turn that pressure down on the last coat and we'll go front to back. So that's at 20 psi. Let's see how we'll go touch above 20 psi. The only thing about that is it makes the fan even smaller. So yeah, just what are we sitting at there? Just a bit above 1 bar. Probably about 23, 24 psi. It's going on nice and slow. Nice and even, hold the gun nice and straight to the panel. Another thing you've got to think about is lowering the pressure will change the colour, so make sure you put a coat on any adjacent panels at the same pressure, like that. If I had sprayed that at 2 bar and that at say 1 bar, the colour could actually change quite a bit. So we'll see how that dries down. I've got a feeling it's going to be just fine. Now, as I say, if I'm not happy with it, I'll tip most of that silver out, just leave myself with a little bit like that, fill the rest up to here, around there, with 599, or some clear base coat binder, and then put another medium wet coat on, and that should sort it out. I'm seeing a bit of something through here, but it's still not dry, so I'll flick that cam off and I'll let you guys know what I think when it dries. I'll give you another look at it when it's dry.
Rightio Gunners, so that's pretty much dry. It's literally only been about 2 minutes. So there's FLG5 laying silvers down over a bonnet without any mottle. I'm pretty damn happy with that. I've had a look at it from just about every angle and I'm really happy with it. Closing thoughts is that you probably wouldn't want to do every coat at that lower pressure. So 2 bar for every coat up until your last coat. Keep the gun nice and straight to the panel. Hold the gun back a bit. Drop the pressure down for your very last coat. If you're still not happy, try the 599 trick, but yeah, that's fine. That's going to be just fine. That'll keep the customer happy, keep the boss happy, keep me happy, and hopefully it's taught you a thing or two. And I'm going to actually continue on just with this video. Why not? We'll do the clear coat stage, and I'll see you back here in a minute.
Rightio YouTube, so continuing on with these 2 jobs in here. So as I promised before, I've got the FLG5, 1.4 mil, full fan, full fluid. Let's crank that pressure up to even a bit over 2 bar. That just feels right. So this is a Ford Ranger tailgate. I think I mentioned that before. So these are actually, I think, Mazdas. So they've got a pretty shitty orange peel in them, like a very fine orange peel, and they don't put much paint on these things, so that's why I turned the pressure up a bit for that. And I think I'll turn it down a touch for this bonnet. So I had somebody ask me recently, oh, do you still tack and whack in winter? And the answer is yes, I do still tack and whack in winter. So attack and whacking, I kind of tack and whack, but kind of don't. So heating that clear up makes it dry. Like the flash off times are so damn quick, it's not funny. And because I've heated it up, I'll put a coat down and I'll do what I call a round robin. So I'll start at one point, go around, and then without stopping, go back to where I started. So I guess technically it's had a little bit of a flash off. It's not like it's proper tack and whack. If this was a proper tack and whack, I would have put this first coat on and then bang, straight back to the start and put the second one on, but I'm not. I'm giving it that ever so slight flash off time. So as I say, I'm going to come straight back here. And as I say, like that's basically flashed off already. So I guess technically you're not really tack and whacking it. Turn that pressure back up a touch again. So yes, as you can see, this is really why I like this gun, because you can get yourself a good quality gun that's made well without breaking the bank. I reckon something flew out when I was blowing the inside. See if we can dig that out without making an absolute mess. Just don't want to go and clear over that. Either that or it's fallen from the roof, which does happen occasionally. Steady hands, gunnies. Yeah, sometimes you can just make these things look worse, but I think we're going to make this work. Yes, I've got it out. Woo! Rightio, so now there's something that we're going to have to fill in. So I'm going to put that coat there. I'm coming back to this now. I need that filled there so that I can block that out. So I've got the piece of the coloured bit of overspray, I think it was. Like a bit of that grey overspray that you look all over the booth. It was that colour. So now I'm going to come back to that so that we can load it, like just give that time to flush off so it builds up on top of it. So yeah, I'm going to do my best to make my videos better. After seeing these guys' videos about video editing software on the weekend, it just made me pissed off at the direction that some YouTubers have taken, and you know, they've just forgotten what YouTube was about, to help people get straight to the point. It's not meant to be about you making heaps of money out of it, you know? It's not, that's not what YouTube, that's not what makes YouTube great, basically. Get straight to the point, help people out, and you know, the other things can and will follow. If you provide a useful video that people can learn from, people can gain something out of, the rest of it will follow. I think it's just greed has started to step in a little bit. So yeah, hold that gun nice and straight to the panel, make sure the air cap is nice and straight to that panel. So I mixed up 550 mils of clear coat using the standard clear. It's actually a 4-to-1 clear. As I mentioned before, I did put it in the microwave, heated it up to about 27. It probably cooled down to 25 after putting it in the gun. So yeah, I'd say it's at 25 now. It's not looking too bad. Let's go and put our last coat on this tailgate and we'll be done. So he did the edges on that last coat. That'll be good enough for them. Like, hey, it's not the best gun. It's not the best gun I've ever used. No, it's not. But is it probably the best value for money? I'd say so. I think so. Right up there at least. If not the best, it's right up there. There we go. Perfect amount of clear, man. Drop split. Drop. Looking good. Looking good. That bonnet started blowing out a little bit. It looked a little bit peely off the gun, but it did blow out a little bit. I'm not even going to bake this tonight. It's right at the end of the day. I'll clean this gun out and probably go home. Rightio gunners, I'll see you in the next one. Get out there and paint some shit. Gunman out.